लोगों के पास टाइम नहीं है. They don't have much of time to spend with their partners even. Marriage period 2 to 3 years is very crucial. I would like to say to the parents that please do not pressurize these kind of things to your kids, because it was a very bad phase of my life, 2.5 years, and a person needs a mentor, a person needs a counselor. आपको अप्रोच करना चाहिए जब आपका टाइम है. I have been to mountains for a 6 months of period, longer period. I have been to Kaza Monastery. I have been there.
What do you think goes wrong in an arranged marriage?
Over knowing is also a big time
Okay.
problem. But we girls are not that simple. जैसे हम समझते हैं.
The responsibility lies with the people who are getting married. They have to set the right expectation.
This is the biggest problem ever come in love marriage I have seen, because
Hey Shampa, thank you so much for joining today. Welcome to the School of Men. It really means a lot that you're here, and thank you so much for your time.
thank you so much for having me, Adarsh. It's all pleasure is all mine, because it's a very nice thing that you have think to speak with me about this, and you just told me to come at your show. Thank you so very much.
It was, I think, long time in happening. I think the first time we met was 1 year back, about 1 year back, when we both came on the on the in the inside the book. Our story came in the I Can Coach book, and there
True.
was, I think, some connection, but we didn't really catch up later. So it was long time
Yeah.
coming, and I'm happy that it has happened now. Especially when you published your book, I thought this is the right time to bring you on.
Thank you so much.
So before we talk about, before we get into details, let our listeners and audience know who you are, what you do, and a little more about your background.
So my name is Shampa. Full name is Shampa Chatterjee, and I started my practicing as an advocate in 2007. I have done it quite a longer time. Then slowly, I came into this coaching thing, because definitely I'm not coaching, doing any kind of coaching related the law or something. It's absolutely different. So इसको थोड़ा सा सस्पेंस रखते हैं, हम थोड़ा सा बाद में इस पे डिस्कस
Yeah.
करेंगे. And definitely uh, for me, मैं सिर्फ इतना बता सकती हूँ that I love speaking people, I love connecting with people, and I'm so happy that I'm here at your show today. And thank you so very much that you asked about me. This is all it. I'm a very simple and very clear cut thing came up, that I'm an advocate basically by profession. As of now, doing not doing the practicing anyways. And yes, hope you know.
I can relate so much to that. I'm an engineer, mechanical engineer. I was working automotive industry, and now I'm coaching. So,
Yeah.
how did this transition happen? How did you go from being an advocate and becoming a coach? And what do you do specifically in coaching?
So let me tell you that. And firstly, I started my advocacy career, and then suddenly things change in my life, because we all know that right now I am into relationship coaching but in a very different
Hmm.
manner. First, let me tell you
Yeah.
that, because relationship coaching, people know that it might be a counseling.
Hmm.
I don't do
Hmm.
counseling. I do counseling, but in a very different way. I do cycling. I use cycling as
Hmm.
method to heal the relationship, because nowadays it's a very fast paced world. लोगों के पास टाइम नहीं है. They don't have much of time to spend with their partners even. Even जब भी हम घर पे भी होते हैं, we do have a habit of being on phone. Why I chose cycling? Because when you are on settle, you can't be on your phone. You have to be on that moment. In any ways, आपको उसी moment पे रहना है. Otherwise, it will be a very difficult task to do. So then, I left my proper practice 2013, and I came up with a very bad breakup. And after that breakup, I started getting anxiety attacks, panic attacks, and lot many things happened. I started taking pills, medicines, and all. So it was a very bad phase of my life, 2.5 years. And to be very honest, I can only say a person needs a mentor, a person needs a counselor. आपको अप्रोच करना चाहिए जब आपका टाइम है, बिकॉज विच द बैड थिंग आई डिड इन माई लाइफ, मैंने कभी अप्रोच नहीं करा बिकॉज आई वॉज अ वेरी शाई कैरेक्टर. सो मेरे को ओपन होके बताना, इट वॉज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टास्क फॉर मी ऑलवेज. So I never done that, I have never done that. So that time it was, I think that is the reason it took a long time to recover from that phase to this phase. So from there I started thinking that तब मैं actually marriage counseling कर रही थी in my advocacy career, and I was giving them lot of gyan about the relationship and all, and my relationship was screwed up. So that was the bad and the bang on thing for me. कि no, it's not my thing. I am not a kind of a person that कि मैं ज्ञान दे रही हूँ, but I'm not able to apply that अपने खुद के लाइफ में. So that time I stopped my practice. Basically, I stopped my practicing and I stopped giving advices to people. Trust me, because I thought before giving advice I should go for healing first of myself. Definitely, that should be the most important thing to be needed. I started doing it, and then मेरी जो healing journey थी, healing journey was very different. I have been to mountains for a 6 months of period, longer period. I have been to Kaza Monastery. I have been there. I've been with monks. I have done a lot of meditations, and I know these things works. एंड जब तक आप अपने आप के अंदर खुद से रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं करते हो वॉट एवर यू आर डूइंग इन योर लाइफ, if it is a relationship factor, definitely you should do this reflect wala thing, because till the time you are doing it, you will go nowhere. You will always find problem with others. You will never find problem that might be the problem is you. And anything everything is in your hand, basically, to be very honest. अगर आप कुछ भी कर रहे हो, everything is in your hand. Unless until you are taking the charge, that will never come up in a good way. So I have taken that charge once, and जब मैंने ये किया, and then I came up and I healed myself in a proper way. And doctor told me that okay, fine, now you're okay, so you just start physical activity and all. And then I started with cycling. I never thought of going gym or something initially, because I was never a gym person. I was into boxing in a very long back, and I have done my states also. But then I stopped everything. I have gained a hell lot of weight, almost 95 kg or something, during this phase. So it happened with the girls, hormonal problems and everything happened, and we gained
Yeah.
weight like anything. So it happened with me also. So, and then I come back from there, that position, and I started with cycling. I was not into cycling. I was into biking for a longer period, but जो साइकिलिंग है वो मैंने अपने एज ऑफ 37 years मैंने स्टार्ट किया, विच इज 3 years बैक एज ऑफ नाउ. So, and it was a very smooth thing, but I just felt the freedom on the settle that day, and I just love that. And the way I mentioned that somehow I love the mountains because mountain gives you healing. So then I started thinking that mountain gives me healing, and that too healing is specifically with the relationship issue and my depression phase and all. So I just need to club all those things in a proper way, in a one place. I need to come up with a something जिससे मैं सामने वाले को ये सारा चीज एक जगह पे दे पाऊँ. Mountains, cycling, and the relationship thing on a settle. Then I came up with this concept that let me start with the cycling, जो भी जो हम mountains में करेंगे, and there we will discuss and explore our relationships in a very beautiful way, and in a beautiful mountains areas, because the scenic beauty of that area, you will always come up in a very different feeling and all. So like this I started basically. So this is actually I started doing it, and right now basically I call myself as a Elysium Paddle Pro coach. And yeah, why it is this? Because Elysium is a elixir kind of thing. So that is the reason I want to give people that experience, जहाँ पे वो अपने partners के साथ actually in a very beautiful mountain area they can feel their connection back. In a city area it is not possible because we always into our work and everything, it's all clubbed together, so it's very difficult. So I want them to come with me and experience that lost connection back wala thing. So that is it.
That was a great introduction. I was, I was hooked all the time, and trying to, note down things where to ask you further questions. So one where I would like to start here is one thing which you mentioned initially is um, that you had no idea that you can get help, right? And marriage relationship coaching has always happened traditionally, or let's say conventionally, only when there is a problem, a major serious problem, right? And nobody is approaching it um, as a precaution, or let's say preventive kind of activity, right? And only when the relationship goes very bad and it is beyond control, that is when the counseling and stuff happens. And I think by that time the damage is already done, right? uh, so one thing is, nowadays there is more awareness. This coaching scene is growing now in India, and in a way I see the West is way ahead of us in the coaching area. And I feel we Indians don't have this coaching culture or the coaching ecosystem to that level, and that is why a lot of people are suffering, and a lot of people uh, are living their life with unmet potential, and going through the flow. So that is very important, like having this awareness that you can get help, right? So
Yes,
let's talk
yes.
about um, what exactly is a relationship coaching, and when can people start reaching out for help, when they can start thinking about, okay, this is a time to get help, and specifically what kind of people you deal with. We'll start from there and then elaborate on that.
So initially I was doing my coaching thing to the newly married couple. Why I chose the newly married couple? Because marriage period 2 to 3 years is very crucial. That time, even if it is love marriage, even if it is arranged marriage does have a different problems because they have a very different atmosphere. Suddenly they came into a different uh, atmosphere, and they are now not able to manage their whole things. Manage nahi kar pa rahe hain. They don't know how to talk to people, how to manage people. And love marriage does have a problem. Why? Because before that, we were not under the same roof. You know, under the same roof is absolute different, total different, scene when it comes to, meeting outside or for hours at your place, at my place, or something like that. That's a very different thing. But जब आप एक छत के नीचे होते हो, things बहुत अलग हो जाती है. Love marriages, in the case of love marriage, I have seen these kind of problem that people face mostly, that they started thinking that uh, boy is not अपना जगह नहीं छोड़ रहा है, लड़की अपनी जगह नहीं छोड़ रही, because it happened in a love marriage only. In case of arranged marriage it is bit of different because they try to adjust, and that adjustments become a very much bigger time of problem अगर उसको आप उस टाइम पे नहीं हैंडल करते हो तो. And which I always seen that whenever communication problem arise, that is the basic point, everything starts
Okay.
screwing. Communication, if you are communicate your feelings clearly, and understanding also definitely, and understanding comes with the definitely nowadays patience is a big time problem with people, I have seen,
Mhm.
because they don't have patience. We have a we build our character like a 2 seconds of reel kind of character. We build our character like this. So we should not be doing this. We need to have some patience inside our us. Why? Because जब आप पेशेंस नहीं रखते, तो तब आप लोगों का बात नहीं सुन पाते, उसको समझ भी नहीं पाते. And one more thing you need to understand, that every person is different. Every person has a different personality. So don't try to change a person's personality. Try to understand the person's personality first, and then try to figure it out by communicating properly, that which needs to be taken care of, which part of the character needs to be taken care of. But यहाँ problem ये है, everybody wants to change the other person. मैं ये नहीं करता तो तुमको ये चेंज करना पड़ेगा, यू हैव टू डू इट. नो, इट्स नॉट अ प्रेशराइज गेम. It's a relationship is a very crucial thing, and it's very very difficult, and it takes a lot of time to nurture. So when it comes to this, and if you want a beautiful relationship, you first need to be beautiful in your mindset. So that is the thing I always feel like whenever I started doing relationship coaching and counseling. In fact, when I was in advocacy and I did counseling, so that time also I have seen many small problems came up, which is like absolutely nothing, that can be taken care of very easily, but people don't want to take care of, because love marriage people जो है वो कहते हैं कि इसको मेरे बारे में पहले से पता था. And arranged marriage people are like, मुझे तो नहीं पता था. So, so it's like this. So you need to understand that you need to keep some patience within you and give some space and time to grow the relationship. Relationship is like a tree. The more you nurture, the more you get the result and get the fruit, you know, better fruit you will get. But पीपल डोंट फील लाइक, आजकल लोगों को जो लोग आजकल प्लांटेशन करते हैं उनको बहुत लोग पागल समझते हैं. उनको लगता है ये प्लांटेशन करते हैं, ये पूरे दिन बैठ के कर क्या रहे हैं. What they are doing actually, na,
गार्डनिंग गार्डनिंग
they
वगैरह
are
करते हैं ना
doing
वो.
it, digging.
हुँ,
Yes. तो उन लोगों को पागल लगते हैं कि यार यार गार्डनिंग कौन करता है, हम खरीद के आके लगा लेंगे ना. नो, इट्स नॉट दैट. सो दिस इज द बेसिक प्रॉब्लम with people. Even if you are purchasing a plant and you are putting it inside your house, you need to nurture that, otherwise it will go down. So relationship is all about that. And most and foremost important thing is the communication. Most basic problem is the communication. And definitely do not try to get others inside your head. That is also a very important point. Because जब आप दूसरों को अपने दिमाग पे हावी होने देते हो, that time problem arise, and that time problem blasts like anything, because they have their own mind setup, you have your own mind setup, you are facing some other problems, and they are giving you overall solution and nothing will work. So there I feel always counselor and a coach is very much needed, a mentor is very much needed, because when you came up with this, and when you have a mentor, proper mentor will guide you the exact path जहां पे आपको चलना है. But problem is कि people do not want to go for a mentor because they don't feel like कि okay मुझे नहीं जरूरत है, थोड़ा और ट्राई करते हैं देन देखेंगे. नो, it's not the way. Whenever you feel that small things came up with the big fights, that's a red flag. You need to stop, you need to find some person and you need to go for a
you
counseling
mean to just to
before.
clarify, when you say small things turn into big fight, right? Small things turning into big fights, that is a red flag in a relationship. Yeah.
It
Mm.
happened. It happened always, because I have seen these kind of problem in my relationship
Mm.
also. Small things came up with a big time issue, and that time मैं कभी मेरे दिमाग में था नहीं कि I need a mentor.
Mm.
But when I came into this coaching field and I started doing it, then I have seen that so much world is not only what we are seeing. We need to think and we need to see out of the box, and we need to capture the whole essence of it, but we are not doing it. So in my relationship also, I'm not saying that that person is only the bad person here. No, it's not the story. it might be I am also I have also some minus points inside me, so which I need to change. But who will tell you that you need to change? If a person that you don't like, that person will come and tell you that you need to change this part of fact thing, you will never change. You will like, अरे उसको पता ही नहीं है, उसको मालूम नहीं है मेरे बारे में, उसको क्या बता रहा है, वो तो खुद मेरे मेरे जैसा लग रहा है मेरे को. So we will never try to change. But if a person who is your mentor, whom you admire, you will listen to that person. That person will never work on other person. That person will always work on yourself first, and that is more important.
That's true, and I can relate to this because I had struggles in my relationship initially when I got married. Mine is an arranged marriage, and after getting married, after the honeymoon period ended, like the first 6 months to 1 year, there were these red flags, like you said, like small things turning into big fights. Uh, um, that was there, but then later on, it took a much serious and more persistent issue in the next 2 3 years, and I'm fortunate that it happened to me because that somehow, in a way, led to my own transformation. And I can say now, like you said, you have to work on yourself. By God's grace, somehow this came into my mind. I have to work on myself. I got the right kind of information on the internet, through the books, and through my own physical transformation and all. I changed, and that nudged my wife to change also, right? How I responded to her, she responded it in a same way, and we both have evolved. We both have um, become more mature now, and our relationship, I can say, I'm proud that it's in the best place, and we are a team now. We are like one person now. Okay, but still, you said
Wow.
communication is very important, and every now and then we have to sometimes sit together and open this conversation and communicate to resolve issues. Otherwise, again, it is all based on expectations. You expect something from the other person. I'm expecting something from my wife, and she's behaving in a certain way which I don't like. But then whenever we have this
Right.
conversation, it's the same way, other round, the same way around. Like my wife is also feeling like that. Whenever we start having conversation, and then it gets resolved magically. Right? So one
Yeah.
specific thing I want to ask you is, specifically love marriage, because I don't know about love marriage. I had, I'm in a arranged marriage. So love marriage is something where the person already know each other. They have spent enough time with each other before deciding to get married. There are people who decide to get married without spending enough time with each other. That is also there. Um, but what
Yeah.
specifically goes wrong in this kind of scenario? It's a love marriage. You get married. You're happy that you're finally with the person whom you want to be. It's not that the family has decided, the parents have decided for you. You have taken this decision. I have some perspective from about this. I'll share about it, but then I want to hear it from you because you are the you are the relationship coach, and you have seen many people like this.
So, see, love marriage, in the scenario of love marriage, you actually know each
Yeah.
other. Okay? You actually know each other, and you know over.
Hmm.
Over knowing is also a big time
Okay.
problem. It become a big time problem. Why? Because in the love marriage scenario, we don't give space to each other, which is very
Hmm.
important. Space, giving space to a boy or to a girl in their own life is very important. So in love marriage, I have seen the space problem is the big time problem,
What do you mean by
because
giving space?
before
For
love,
more clarity.
yeah, I'm just coming
Mhm.
on that. See, boys have a very different
Yeah.
personality. We in boys का हमेशा grow up कैसे होता है कि वो mostly बाहर बाहर
Mhm.
रहते हैं with the friends, with other work and all. Mostly girls don't build up
Mhm.
like this. Okay, nowadays it's different. I'm not saying that it's not the way same as of now, but yes, गर्ल्स का बहुत डिफरेंट सेटअप रहता है, सो दे डू हैव अ हैबिट ऑफ यू नो बीइंग एट होम. अदरवाइज अगर होम पे नहीं है तो she will be with her some best friend or something like that. They don't have a big time uh, friends group the way boys have. लड़कों के साथ ऐसा है कि लड़के सबके साथ दोस्ती हो जाते हैं लड़कों. They have a very simple thing. बट वी गर्ल्स आर नॉट दैट सिंपल. जैसे हम समझते हैं गर्ल्स आर सिंपल, मोर देन सिंपल देन बॉयज, एंड नो, वी आर मोर क्रिटिकल बिकॉज वी हैव लॉट मेनी थिंग्स इनसाइड आवर माइंड गोइंग. लड़का कैसा है, फैमिली कैसी होगी, हमको उधर जाना है, हमको उधर रहना है, सो वी एंड वी थिंक, ओवर थिंक अ लॉट. So I always tell when it comes to relationships, specifically to the girls, don't overthink, please. Boys does have a clear funda that if that person is saying I am with that person, so that means he is with that person. Okay, he is not. I'm not talking with those people who are already the ditchers. I'm not talk about them. I'm talking about the clear cut funda of a
Yeah.
overall boys. If they are saying I'll be coming back by this time, so it might be the half an hour aage piche, but he'll be that time at that time. So they do have some clear factors in their mind. If they are with their friends, then they are with their friends. You don't have to worry about कि friends के साथ वो क्या कर रहे हैं. We girls do have a habit of overthink karna. And in love marriage, it happened because we know the boy clearly. This is his habit. This is their friends. And तब तक हम उसके सारे दोस्तों को बहुत अच्छे से जान चुके होते हैं. We know the in and out of the friends as well. That this friend is not good, and girls does have a sixth sense to understand which person is good, which person is bad, which person is taking advantage. So एवरीथिंग वी स्टार्ट हम उस सब चीज को उसमें ज्वाइन करने लगते हैं उस पर्सन के लाइफ में. डोंट डू दैट. If you are with a person, give some space, like at least give an hour to that person free. Don't be with that person every time, कि आप हमेशा उसके साथ बैठे हो. Every time you talk, every time you seeing picture together, just do your things as well, because this is the biggest problem ever come in love marriage I have seen. Because लड़कियां सब कुछ अचानक छोड़ देती है, everything left. दोस्त छूट गए, फैमिली छूट गई, वर्क छूट गया, ठीक है थोड़ी देर बात कर लेंगे. नो, डोंट डू दैट. जस्ट bring some balance between all those parts. Because अगर आप ज्यादा छोड़ दोगे तो आपको लगेगा कि you are sacrificing most and that person is sacrificing nothing, जबकि उसने आपको बोला भी नहीं है कि आप छोड़ दो. You have done that by yourself. Don't do that. अगर वो बोलता है, then there is a red flag कि सब छोड़ दो. Then there is a red flag. You need to understand that something is going behind उसके दिमाग में. You need to understand that part. That is a different, absolute different thing to taken care of. But अगर वो आपको नहीं बोल रहा है, if that person is not saying you कि okay you have to leave everything, you just do your things. Start doing it your things. Why you want to go for shopping every time with that person if that person is not a shopping lover? What is the point? Okay, let him take
Which
some
most
rest, you
boys
go
are,
and you
right?
shop.
Which most boys are.
Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah.
don't like. Because I know, because I'm a kind of a girl now that I know what I need to purchase. I know the shop. I will go to the shop and I will purchase that particular thing and I'll come back. I take hardly half an hour and to that shop, and hardly half an hour to that communicating part. And most of the girls are like morning में सरोजिनी नगर एंटर करते हैं तो शाम को निकलते हैं without purchasing a single thing. They just love
Yeah.
roaming around. It's okay. I'm understanding that part, but do not take that. If you are able to go whole day in a Sarojini Nagar and you are purchasing nothing, boys are not like
Mm.
that. Boys don't like कि साड़ी के दुकान में जाके मैं my dad was like that. तुम क्यों सारा सामान निकलवा रही हो, तुमको जो साड़ी चाहिए तुम वो निकलवाओ. And my mom is like नहीं नहीं मुझे तो सारा देखना है. पापा ने कहा लेना तुम्हें सारा है क्या. So it was like this. The boys are like this only. And these basic character will be always be the same with boys. ठीक है? And you need to understand and you need to work on these basic characters. हमारा प्रॉब्लम है, वी गर्ल्स डज हैव अ प्रॉब्लम दैट whenever we start going, and specifically आउटर साइड के वर्ल्ड में बहुत बातें चलती है जो लड़कियों के दिमाग में जाता है. So people do have a habit of picking things inside your mind that, okay, you are doing the love marriage, okay, everything will be changed. See, everything will change. Right now, though, he is so happy with you. After that, he will not be happy with you. It's not about happy. It is like boys does have a habit of showing happiness in a very different way, and girls wants in a very different way. So that's the basic problem. Always arise. Always arise. In the arranged marriage, it's not that. Okay, but in love marriage, it is there. So basic problem is always in love marriage over giving time over time and spending time all the time together. Do not screw your relationship. Nurture करने के लिए भी you need to, if you plant a if you plant a seed and you water it daily, it will not grow up with a good plant, because वो खराब हो जाएगा, वो seed सड़ जाएगा. It will go rotten at a condition में. So relationship is also like that. Put some water, give some time, and then see what is happening, and then take a next step. I told you na ke people don't have that patience to do it. That is the reason, otherwise relationship is not a big deal to manage, but nowadays it become a big time problem with people. They have a lot of breakups and all. They came up with a lot of bad uh, you know and one thing I need to share here, it's a very important lesson which I learned. Whenever you had a breakup, do not try to go for other person immediately. Give some time to
Yeah.
yourself. That is very much important. People do these kind of things जब उनको पता नहीं होता प्रॉब्लम उसमें थी या मेरे में. We do have a habit of, okay fine, I am with this person, अब मैं इसके साथ नहीं हूं तो इसका जो empty space है, that will cover up with the other person. That's a whole wrong idea, because again you will come up with a breakup that will become a pattern in your life, and that is a very stupid idea. Don't do
So,
that.
so this is because I think, as you're saying, I was thinking in my mind that if you immediately get into another relationship, is that is because you're desperate to fill that void. That's all. You have not you have
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
contemplated what went wrong, what was wrong with your side, or maybe something wrong from the other side also. People never think about it, or sometimes people they think the other person was wrong all the time, and they never improve. And like you said, it becomes a pattern. Like if you'll find a similar kind of person, you'll get
Yeah.
into a similar kind of dynamics with the other relationship, and then that is also, you know, that is also doomed relationship if that is the case. Yeah,
Yes. We always
one more thing
find.
to clarify here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One thing I need to
yeah,
add.
please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay, so one more thing to clarify here is, you said girls a lot of times, uh, if they are in a relationship, they want the boy to be with them. They want to uh, spend too much time with the boy and all. I think that also happens with boys also. Like a lot of boys, especially the boys who think they are not good enough, boys who are not focused on self improvement, they have nothing else going on in their life, they'll do that. Like they spend whole time with the girl only, and they set a wrong expectation, right? It could happen both sides. uh, yeah.
Both sides. Yes.
And one more thing, what I wanted to say, or maybe get confirmation from you here, is love marriages, they are, before getting married and all, it's all good and fine. Relationship is good. That is why they decided to get married. But I also feel that in the love scenario, like when the people are dating, um, they're also trying to portray something which they are not. Sometimes they're always kind of creating their best image. They're always there for the other person. They are thinking about them all the time. They are trying to be there. do their best. And I think that is where it goes wrong. Like after getting married, it's completely different dynamics, because there are other people in your life. There are in-laws, there are, siblings and everything, family members, relatives.
We have our own perspective.
Yeah, and like you said, you're spending few hours in a day together, maybe in a, um, when you are in a close proximity, physically present with each other, but you don't know what's happening behind the scene. You don't know what's happening in the other person's life, because he's only just like the social
True,
media.
true.
He is trying to show you the best thing only, and she is trying to show you the best thing only. Right? Is that true? Does this
True,
happen
true,
all
true.
the time?
Yes, yes, absolutely correct. That's nowadays social media के वजह से भी people started getting frustrated because people only see the perfect part of
Mm,
it. They don't
yeah.
know the imperfect scenario of it.
Mm,
So everybody wants that, for girls, I know one thing because this used to once my mind set up also एक time पे we do have a habit of dreaming sequence. हमको dreaming वाले positions बहुत पसंद है. We love that. तो boys are not like that. Boys are very different. ठीक है, उनका बहुत डिफरेंट कैरेक्टर होता है, ठीक है, वो बहुत अलग होते हैं. एंड उन आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि उनके हिसाब से चलो, बट यू डोंट एक्सपेक्ट एवरी टाइम they have to behave the way you are, because and one thing which you mentioned, that initially in the love marriage it happened, they started portraying things in a very different way, both parties, because they wanted that person so much in their life. So वो कुछ भी उस टाइम बोलते हैं करते हैं, which is wrong. Whenever you are feeling to come up with a relationship, now clarify your thought process that this is what I am. It is not that it is not bad that you are alone. You are anyways not alone, to be very honest. Relationship, I'm not saying relationship is a much needed thing, but yes, definitely, if you are in a relationship, so please nurture it in a proper way, because don't say lies just to get that person in your life. Because if you are in a that position कि आपने झूठ बोला है, झूठ लंबे टाइम तक नहीं चलता. It will go like 1 year 2 year because you are maintaining it. Once at a time you will by yourself feel that you will stuck up somewhere. And these energies, to be very honest, because I used to do the reiki and all, so I know these energies stuck inside our body parts, and then we reacted in a very different way. So this should not be there. Yes, this is a very important thing which you mentioned, that people started behaving which they actually don't. Actually, they are not like that. They portray themselves in a very good manner. That okay, I am this, I am that, I am that. No, no, don't do that, please, because it's a bad thing to be done. Because ऐसे आए हुए relationship लंबे time तक रुकेंगे नहीं. That will go for sure.
and I think to some extent, love marriage, so arranged marriage is also like that. Before you get married, when you're talking, this happened with me, and it was not only in the case of my relationship with my wife, but also in general. I was not portraying who I was openly. I was kind of, so that has been my experience. And then later on, I realized that the problem was with me. I was not showing up in the relationship uh, in a stronger position, being myself. I was always trying to please my wife. I was a people pleaser all along my life, and I was also doing the same with my wife.
Problem is girls will understand in a very fast way if you are doing it just sake of
Mm,
doing it. They will
yeah,
understand, and once they will understand, they will start taking that in a very
yeah,
different manner, and they will start creating that gap between you
yeah.
two. This will
Yes,
start
yes. That's what was happening. Like,
getting.
I loved my wife. I wanted to keep her happy. I was doing everything to please her, but it went in a different direction, and I think it was for good. That was a reason I know I was nudged to have this transformation. That was one of the reasons.
Grinding is
There were
very
other
important.
things going on, but I think that was one of the major catalysts for my transformation. So, apart from that, what do you think?
Yeah.
Let's come to arranged marriages now. What do you think goes wrong in an arranged marriage relationship?
So in an arranged marriage, it is always like we started with
Hmm.
family. Family, I'm not saying that families are wrong because they are, putting us in a arranged marriage. It's not that. It is absolutely, it's not that. But जब हम सिर्फ मैरिज के लिए मिलना है बोल के मिलते हैं, सो इट्स अ वेरी डिफरेंट, तब हमारे ऊपर डिफरेंट प्रेशर होता है फ्रॉम फैमिली दैट oh my god, we are, searching for a longer period, you are not able to figure it out a girl or figure it out a boy till the time you have to fix it by today itself. It has to be done by anyhow. So these pressure, I would like to say to the parents that please do not pressurize these kind of things to your kids, because I can totally understand that you have seen that situation in your life, but it is our duty that जो trauma हमें मिला है हम वो next generation को pass on ना करें. You need to stop that trauma immediately so that हम next generation को उसको pass on ना करें. तो mostly हमारे parents के साथ वो जानबूझ के नहीं करते, but they just wanted us to be the perfect and happy the way they are. Okay, but they have a very different mindset at that time. My dad is abhi right now my dad is 82, my mom is 70 to 75. So they have a very different mindset up, okay, and I have a very different mindset up, though my father improved a lot because he has a habit of reading, he has a habit of improving himself, and he always says that this to me ना, always मेरे को बोलते हैं कि the till the time you are dying you need to learn, and you need to be open to learn. Whenever you start feeling like that you know everything, it will stop and it will never come back to you. So he has a very different mindset. Initially they started telling me that you have to go and get married. It's not my dad, definitely it was my mom always poking me कि please अब तुम्हारा हो गया breakup period, please now go for a marriage and all. I was like no mom. Whenever I started feel like, and something, I felt always that जब आपको लगता है that you need to take hold of your life, do not think much. Mom, dad will understand. You need to know how to talk to them. Sometimes I know parents थोड़े से rigid हो जाते हैं because of our own good, but you need to tell them very clearly that when it comes to arranged marriage, if you are not feeling that vibe, you need to understand. हम उनको vibe बताते हैं तो उनको समझ नहीं आता. They don't know what is vibe. हमने तो vibe नहीं देखा था. What is
फैमिली
the
अच्छा है,
vibe?
अच्छे लोग
So
हैं,
if you
शादी
feel
करने
like
में क्या प्रॉब्लम है, ऐसा बोल देंगे।
क्या problem है. So we need to understand that it's not only about the family, because it's about the
Yeah.
two person. What is the point that we are here, and mostly problems arise होता है कहाँ से, जो मैंने अपने काउंसलिंग पीरियड में भी देखा है when it comes to specifically with the arranged marriage, that they they told something about their girl, that this is the girl my girl is, and they told about their boys that this is the boy my boy is, and when it comes to marriage, जब marriage हो गया, both are absolute different, total different character. Okay, it happened. Okay, so please do not do that. I just need to tell every parents, please do not do that, please, and try to understand, your daughter or your son has a very good personality, let them grow in that way only. Okay, it is okay if your son is not waking up early, it is okay that your girl is not doing their householding stuff, it is absolutely fine, and it is normal. And you don't have to say this that my girl knows everything and शादी होने के बाद गर्ल को कुछ नहीं आता, एंड डोंट से दैट मेरा लड़का तो घर से निकलता ही नहीं है और फिर बाद में पता लगा लड़का घर के बाहर ही रहता है. डोंट डू दैट प्लीज. ठीक है, लेट देम बी द वे
हमारे
दे आर. एंड समथिंग,
हमारे कन्नड़ा में एक
या
कहावत है,
सब,
जो 1000 झूठ बोल के एक शादी मनाया जाता है, ऐसा एक कहावत है। एक शादी करने करने के
या
लिए सक्सेसफुली यू हैव टू
इट इज
1000
एब्सोल्युटली
1000 लाइज़, ऐसा होता है।
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Don't do that. And any relationship start with the lies, end up with
yeah.
like
Mm,
anything that will end up
mm.
for sure. Because अगर आपके बच्चों ने वो समझ गए कि ठीक है इट्स ओके, मेरे मॉम डैड ने अपने टाइम पे ऐसे के लिए बोला था, देन तो शादी टिक जाएगी। अदरवाइज अगर उनको लगा कि अरे इसने तो ऐसे बोला था, इसने तो ऐसे बोला था, दैट विल नेवर गो इन अ गुड वे, दैट विल डेफिनेटली एंड अप। सो व्हाट इज द पॉइंट दैट we want our kids to be, you know, happy, to be with their partners. इट शुड नॉट बी लाइक कि हमने झूठ बोल के रॉन्ग पार्टनर के साथ उनको कर दिया और फिर वो अलग हो गए, एंड देन अगेन स्टिल यू विल गेट इनटू अ ट्रॉमा दैट माय गर्ल और माय बॉय गेट डिवोर्स्ड। सो नो पॉइंट। सो इट इज बेटर दैट शो देम वॉट एवर दे आर, जिनको पसंद होगा वो ही ले जाएंगे। डोंट वरी, ऐसे लड़कियों का भी मार्केट में डिमांड है जो बिल्कुल काम नहीं करती घर का। इट्स ओके, दे वांट दैट काइंड ऑफ गर्ल कि ओके फाइन वी डोंट वांट दैट। एंड ऐसे लड़कों का भी मार्केट में डिमांड है जो बाहर घूमते रहते हैं। इट्स ओके, it's absolutely fine, it's just the right person. It will take time but it will come, don't worry। if your son or boy came up with a luck कि उनका शादी होना है, उनको अपने पार्टनर्स के साथ होना है, तो वो होंगे। but it is better to be take time and be with the right person rather than taking small time and be with the wrong person, no point।
So if I have to summarize this from the parents' point of view, from the family's point of view, it is one more checkbox that okay, there we have done our responsibility, we have fulfilled our responsibility. Shadi kar dena hai kaise bhi. So that is their point of view, and also there is certain kind of they come with their own perspective, they have their own expectation, like फैमिली ऐसी होनी चाहिए, लड़की वाले ऐसे होने चाहिए, लड़के वाले ऐसे होना चाहिए, प्रॉपर्टी होना चाहिए, ये है वो है। दे हैव देयर ओन सेट ऑफ कंडीशंस। इफ ऑल द कंडीशंस they check those conditions, then they are ready. But then in doing so they also end up setting wrong expectations, um, you know, marketing the product in a wrong way, right?
it's
Yeah,
all
they are
wrong।
marketing तगड़ा हो जाता है वहाँ पे, कैसे भी करके ये रिश्ता पक्का करना है करके,
agree,
but the product is will not
true,
stand up to the expectation. तो वहाँ पे I think the responsibility
true,
lies
very
with
true।
the people involved, the girl and the boy. And I'm getting a sense that be it love marriage, be it arranged marriage is of course kind of difficult because you don't spend too much time with each other.
It's
There is
very
family involved. There are the dynamics is much more complicated there. Um, but then there is always the responsibility lies with the people who are getting married. They have to set the right expectation, and they have to communicate well with each other so that
yes,
they are a good choice for each other. And also, once the relationship is sealed, once they get married, again, point comes to communication and expectations, right? Yeah.
yes, definitely, definitely,
So
always. Communication is always a
yeah.
big key.
So let's come to that now. So how do you suggest people they improve their communication? Like we have talked about people who have come through love marriages, people who have come through arranged marriages. Now they are already into relationship. How they can, let's say, newly married people, how they can start to have these, the right kind of habits when it comes to communication. And after that, we talk about people who have already started facing some issues and problems, how they can set their relationship right with right communication. And then in the end, in what scenario they have to get help and approach someone like you.
So, first of all, I need to tell people that communication should be a very clear cut communication. It should not be a very wrong way communication. I'm just saying wrong way in the sense, do not check your tone always whenever you are in a communication. Tone always sets the environment. So you need to understand that if you are toning down, bad conversation will always come up with a good end. And if you are toning up and you are in a good conversation, it will come end up with a bad one. So you need to understand that tone is very important, and be very polite, and specifically active listening is very important. Whenever your partner says anything, please be quiet for a moment and listen to her or his issues. Do not immediately start giving advices, because sometimes we just need to be heard. Okay, and sometimes we need only those years, you know, जो हमें सिर्फ सुनेंगे. Advice, it's a different scenario. And important thing, if you are coming with the advice, okay, make sure that person asks for it. Okay. And for asking, definitely I told you that communication is important. Communication, if you feel like that this person advice is needed, do not shy or do not feel like that I'm not going to ask this person in any way, because they don't know anything. You never know.
Yeah.
He or she might came up with a very brilliant idea or brilliant advice. So first, communicate very clearly whatever your feeling is. If you are feeling low, communicate clearly that I'm not feeling well today, I'm not feeling speaking to somebody else. If you feeling not speaking, even that you need to speak very clearly and very politely to the person that I'm not feeling like speaking to anyone. Can we just give some
Yeah.
time to come up with this? I'll come up. So you need to tell people that I will come, but right now I need some space to figure out the things, what to talk and how to talk. And whenever you feel like that you don't have any words properly of saying anything to the some other person, take a step back ahead, hold, and pause there. Pausing gives you time to rethink, okay, to communicate in a different way and proper way. And sometimes please be a very good listener, because sometimes लड़कियों को लड़कों को दोनों को सिर्फ सुनने वाला चाहिए होता है. फ्रस्ट्रेशन सिर्फ सुनने वाला चाहिए होता है, एडवाइस नहीं चाहिए होता है. माइट बी पॉसिबल एडवाइस उसको पता है, ठीक है, they just wanted you to listen. Okay, so please do this. This is the first step you need to figure out when it comes to arranged marriage as well as a love marriage. And definitely your tone is always an important factor. Your tone should be very clear. If you are not feeling well to speak in a very good way, you are feeling like your tone will come up with a higher situation and all, stop it. Don't talk that time. Take some time, pause it, go outside, नीचे जाके एक राउंड लगा के आओ सोसाइटी का, then come back and talk. इमीडिएटली समटाइम्स इट हैपन कि जब हम स्टार्ट कर देते हैं बात करना और हम उसको विड्रॉ नहीं करते, विड्रॉल जानना भी इज अ वेरी मच नीडेड. व्हेन टू टॉक, व्हेन नॉट टू टॉक, that sense is also very important. And I know this sense will not come in a day. It will come up with a practice. And practice, kaise practice should be, sometimes you will not feel like, you will feel like saying everything. That time you need to take charge on yourself. That should be the mindfulness situation come up. Mindfully you have to stop that conversation and take some time, take a pause. So mindfulness here works like anything. Whenever you feel like conversation heating up, stop it. Tell that we will converse in a later on time, because right now I'm not feeling that ये कहीं का कहीं जा रहा है. So let's not talk about it right now. Let's both of us cool down first and then we'll sit and talk. Specifically financial issues, talk. That is very important. If a boy doesn't have money, please tell that I don't have. It's not that bad. Every time कोई टाटा अंबानी नहीं है, सबके पास हमेशा नहीं होते. It's okay. ठीक है. So नहीं है, you need to clear that part very clear way that नहीं है. But हाँ, जब होगा, I will consider your part. So you need to talk in very positive way. Do not say कि अभी नहीं है तो बाद में का पता नहीं. It's a negative way. you know. If you tell to anybody, even if you are a girl, even if you are a boy, if you tell your partner that okay, right now I don't have, if I would have in future time, I will consider that part. So that will converse in a very clear and very smooth way. But otherwise हमारा mostly आदत है, अभी नहीं है, बाद में आना. So that conversation goes always in a very wrong manner. So you need to understand that first is communication clear. Finance ho, situations ho, problems ho, if you are facing a mental situation right now towards your office, regarding your office or something like that, talk about clearly. And your partner should always be an active listener. The way I mentioned, people don't need always advice. They need some ears to hear. That's it. So these things is very important. Start with this, and later on, when it comes to this thing, if you are feeling like okay, nothing is happening, that time do not wait for it. Okay, थोड़ा और देख लेते हैं. No, go for a proper person, third person, जिसको इसके बारे में knowledge है. ओके. एंड जो न्यूट्रली उस चीज को डिसाइड करेंगे, नॉट अ बायस्ड वे. इफ यू आर गोइंग टू योर पेरेंट्स, दे विल बायस्ड अब आपके ऊपर. इफ यू आर गोइंग टू अदर पर्सन्स पेरेंट्स, दे विल बायस्ड टू द अदर पर्सन्स फेवर. सो नो पॉइंट ऑफ गोइंग पेरेंट्स स्पेसिफिकली. ठीक है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट, मतलब प्लीज पेरेंट्स, कोई भी अगर आप ये देख रहे हो, प्लीज ये मत सोचना दैट आई एम गिविंग अ रॉन्ग एडवाइस हियर, बट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि हमारी आदत होती है.
Yeah.
ठीक है. नॉट ऑल द पेरेंट्स आर लाइक दैट, वो सारी गलती तो मेरी बेटी की ही होगी या सारी गलती तो मेरे बेटे
Mm.
की ही होगी. सो it's not that easy to say like this. So mostly people does have a habit of doing it. So don't go for it. Go for a third person who does have a knowledge about it. Okay, parents does have a knowledge, but they have a very different, era. वो अपने अलग era में थे. ठीक है. सो हम एक अलग एरा में हैं, तो वी नीड सम एडवाइसेस इन अ प्रॉपर मैनर फ्रॉम अ प्रॉपर
Yeah.
पर्सन. सो इफ यू फील लाइक, स्टॉप इट इमीडिएटली, गो एंड टेक सम एडवाइस फ्रॉम अ पर्सन. एंड don't just take it, apply it. That is very much important. People spend a lot of money on those stuffs, but they don't follow the steps. If you are not willing to follow, things will never change in
Yeah.
your life.
So two things here. One from my own experience uh,
Hmm.
about communicating with my wife. See what sometimes my wife wants to talk about something, and I'm not in a mood to listen because something else is going on in my head. Sometimes I just don't pay attention, and she has gotten used to it now. She understands me better, what things are going on in my mind when I'm working. But sometimes I also tell her, let us talk about this later. She is talking about something which is like after 2 weeks she's want to go something. She want to do some planning for travel or something, or some other thing she wants to talk, but I'm not in a position to talk about that. Then I'll tell her, okay, we'll decide it later. Let's
Right.
talk about it later. Sometimes it happens. It has helped a lot. And sometimes I'll restrain myself. Like, especially, it is always better to respond than to react. Like, react is something which will do it
Hmm.
in that moment. You're feeling something, you want to tell something to the other person, you want to say something. But if you're emotionally charged, if you're feeling anger or resentment or frustration, that you said about the tonality, right? The tone will come in that way. Definitely, what is your emotion, the
Yeah.
tone will be like that, and it is very hard to control
Yes.
that. Okay. And
Yes.
we have made it a point that sometimes some serious issues, my wife tells me like, I want to talk about something. She'll not reveal what it is at that moment. I also tell her I want to talk to you something, and then we'll make sure we find a time. We don't do it on I regret this, we don't do it on a uh, regular basis. We don't have a system like let's talk about let's sit together to talk every week or 1 month. And I am planning to consider doing this. I've already talked to my wife about this. Let's talk every week. Let's have a meeting together, let's discuss issues. I told to her, but
Yes.
not put into practice, but this has helped. Like every now and then, whenever there's a serious issue, we'll make it a point that we'll sit together and we both know each other. We
Mm.
both know that the context is that we are going to discuss something. We have to be a good listener here. This is just a discussion. This is not like there is no complaining happening. There is a
Argument or
issue and
something.
we are on a same team to resolve the issue. So this has helped me, and that is what you have clearly explained here. Okay. And the second point is, you said don't take advice from parents, or usually what happens is whenever there is a issue in a relationship, some or the other way your parents are involved. Like if you're living together, they are involved. Your in-laws are
Yes.
involved because they are kind of advising your spouse. They are talking to your spouse, and they know the things only from the perspective of your spouse, not from your perspective. They don't know the whole picture.
One side.
One-sided.
A
One-sided.
one-side
It's the same
story.
with
Yeah.
friends. It's the same with someone else in the family. It should be that it could be like semi-formalized kind of. If you want to take advice from someone, um, I would say
Yes.
both of you should have good equation with that person, and that person should be. You should know that that person is relatively unbiased, and you should have this
Mm.
clearly communicated that both have to talk to them and present your both of your stories, and then it's a good advice. And in most cases, uh, in families and in relatives, it happens very rarely that a lot of people are busy with their own stuff, and they will invariably have some kind of bite.
Mm.
And that is where I feel going to someone outside of your family, like a coach or someone, a counselor, is always a good idea.
Consider.
Whenever there are bigger issues, or let's say you are trying but it's not happening, like it's not working out, so I think
Mm.
that is when you have to reach out to someone, right?
Yes, it is. It is actually needed. True, very true. You whatever you mentioned. Yes.
Yeah, great. I think we are hitting the time limit. I have to go pick my kids now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
it was a great
Absolutely.
conversation, Shampa, and I thoroughly
Same here.
enjoyed and I was fully engaged with this conversation. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so
And
much.
before I let you go, how can people get to know you? Like you said, there is a lot of things to talk. What you do, I think we can come together again.
Yeah.
Um, so,
Yeah.
but do you also help people on the online basis? Can people connect with you, contact you? How can they get in touch with
Yeah.
you?
So, yeah, as of now, basically, I'm doing one-on-one coaching, and one-to-many, I'm not doing it
Mm,
as of now. So, for that, I have a simple Instagram ID, Shampa Chatterjee. It's SHMPA, Shampa Chatterjee. You can search me over there, and there you have, I have all the links inside my bio. If somebody wants to connect with me, they can DM me if they want to. एंड यस इफ मेरी तरफ से कोई भी हेल्प होगा डेफिनेटली आई विल बी द पर्सन जब आपको लगे प्लीज हिट मी देयर एंड फॉर श्योर definitely try cycling because I would advise you to also others because cycling whenever you cycle with your partner every mind setup ऑलवेज आपका उसी मोमेंट में होता है यू कांट मूव इधर उधर and in fact, any kind of vehicle you are running, and specifically cycling, why I mentioned you have to paddle, you have to take care of the road, you have to take care of the whole thing. So try that also, specifically with your kids also, because kids को ना बहुत इंटरेस्ट होता है टायर कैसे बदलते हैं क्या करना होता है सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दे शुड नो एवरीथिंग because they are kid they are 21st century kid they know उनको right है ये सब कुछ जानना so please go ahead with them जब भी ऐसा कुछ हो take them और उनको उसी चीजों में इन्वॉल्व करना चाहिए so that they can learn उनको बहुत इंटरेस्ट होता है इन सब चीजों में so they just love that so just do
definitely.
it please and definitely
So
yeah
definitely I'll try that cycling because last week itself I was talking to my kids. I have two boys. The the younger one had a cycle last year. He lost it. I mean, he left it in the park. Someone took it, and so that he learns a lesson. We have not bought him new cycle immediately. So, but now he has learned to cycle. He is cycling. His, he's using his friend cycle when they are playing. And I was asking my older son, shall we get a छोटू के लिए नया cycle लेंगे क्या? I was pushing like I was asking like that, and he said yes, we have to get it. And we were talking like I'll also get a cycle. We can go on a ride, all of us, all three of us. I was talking like that, and I'm looking forward to do that. Um, yeah, great. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll take the idea also. Like, I'll also try to involve my wife. Try to do it together. And
Yeah.
I think
Try
for
to,
that
try.
matter, not only cycle, anything which will keep you engaged, which doesn't distract you. Both of you are engaged in some activity,
Yes.
then it will be a good thing. It will be a great thing for your relationship.
You guys, your kids will learn a lot of
Yeah.
skills. Trust me, leadership skills they can learn from mechanic the cycle. Trust me, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very very
Mm,
interesting. वो मेरे साथ बहुत सारे बच्चे गए हैं. They just love doing the pump करना, हवा
mm,
भरना. They just love
mm,
doing it, and they just want to know the whole thing how it happened. So these things are
yeah.
very important. These things kind of thing जो वीडियो गेम में नहीं
Mm,
मिलता. You will get it like a hands on. आपको साथ में होना चाहिए. So that need to
great.
be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so before ending the call, you said people can reach out to you, but it will be great if you mention specifically what kind of problems people are going through, and what kind of people can reach out to you, so that they have this checklist. Oh, I'm going through this problem. I have to get in touch with you. So if you have to list few.
So any kind of relationship issue you
Mm,
are facing, any kind of, even if you are in a breakup period, even if you are after your divorce, you are not able to manage your
mm,
mindset up and maintain that how you come
mm,
back from that
mm.
trauma. So these all factors, I'm here to help you out. So if somebody wants to connect with me, they can connect.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. I'll make sure to put your Instagram URL in the description and the show notes here. So
Thanks. Thanks so
thank
much.
you so much for your time, and looking forward to the next one.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Adarsh.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye. Take care.